That's when I was like, you need to stop trying to work because something is going wrong. Something is going on with you to the point where you, this is not, this is mentally not clicking for you. Something is going wrong. Not just me at the job performing the job, because that's like, it becomes more offensive when you start thinking like, okay, this is a fast food job. This is not being a project manager. This is not coding computers. This is not rocket science. And you're still struggling. You are still struggling, not just with like all the aspects of like waking up in the morning, getting yourself there, but at the actual job, you are still struggling. Along with all the social aspects of the job, you're still, something's not right. You're still rubbing people the wrong way. And then to include the outside perception of you, which is incompetent, on top of that. So I go online. Um, I look it up again for the first time since 19 and 20. Oh yeah, and the two things that popped up when I looked it up back then was borderline personality and autism. Guess what I went with? Guess what I rolled with? And started going down the path of borderline, because I said, I just sat there, I thought about the relationship aspect of my life, how chaotic that was, how I had no friends. I was thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, there's no way I have autism. Like, it doesn't even make sense. So I go down the other path, even though I remember I looked into it enough that I was watching YouTube videos, and listening to women who have been diagnosed later in life. And um, it did become like a slight possibility for me after I listened to those women's stories. But still, I was like, there's no way, okay? Like, that's not me, you know? So I took the personality disorder over that. So I ran with that. I start looking up, I start trying to do the self-help, like DBT type stuff. I start looking into it. I start doing all this research about borderline, like where it comes from, start trying to do all the abandonment, healing, all that stuff, okay? It didn't work. Fast forward to January, this January. I look it up, and this time, like, I'm a full-blown member of Reddit, okay? So I made an account, and I was on there, like, pretty much every day. Get notifications, actually joining communities, and commenting, and posting, and being active. So I get on, this ant is such a scary color. So, and it's great for my purse. And dog. But yeah, I honestly, I love being out here. I don't even want to go home. I feel so cooped up in the house. Still live with my parents, of course, because if you can't keep a job, you can't save any money to move out. So it just creates this whole cascade of problems. And then the problems start stacking on top of each other to the point where you can't even move. You have no room to move to solve anything. But yeah, I So now if I look up something, I'm more inclined to click on a Reddit result because I want to hear other people's like legitimate experiences and knowledge, not just WebMD. So I looked up, and I was joined to anti-work by now. So I think I don't even think I looked anything up per se. I think I got a notification from the anti-work subreddit, and somebody else was talking about how they can't keep a job and some other stuff. And I was relating to their post, so I scrolled down to the comments, and some of the comments were like, "Are you sure this is not autistic burnout?" They're like, "This doesn't sound like regular burnout." So me, being how I just described to you I am, we're trying to figure out what's going on and recognizing that borderline kind of is not matching up. I'm just like, okay, autistic burnout, like, what's that? I don't know anything about autism. Don't know anything. All I knew about was level 3, you know? Like, I used to watch, for like a short period of time, I was watching the channel Fathering Autism. And like, I was interested in that channel and interested in their daughter. But I won't go into how I feel about that channel. Obviously, I don't watch it anymore. But yeah, I was like, oh, what is that? So I look it up. I find myself on the autism, one of the official websites, and I'm also one of those people who's like a test taker. Like during this whole period of time, quizzes and online tests was like my lifeline. It's how I spent my time, was taking quizzes online, like personality quizzes, mental health quizzes, jokey quizzes, serious quizzes, long quizzes, short quizzes, sexuality quizzes, BDSM quizzes, all types of quizzes. So when I found another quiz to take, I don't even know what came over me to make me take this quiz all of a sudden, because I did not think that I had autism. So I don't know. I feel like I was just desperate, and I was like, okay, so I've hit basically, I've hit almost all of the walls you could hit aside from psychosis related mental illness, okay? So at this point, I feel like my thought process was just going down another rabbit hole to like cross it out. But unfortunately, I took the test and I got a score that was right there on the borderline. Like, right here, right here was yes. I was right here. I was at, you need to seek a medical professional because you are showing high traits. So that night, I went into full-on panic mode after that test. I stayed up almost all night finding all types of different autism-related tests and just taking them all. And these were tests that were asking the strangest questions I've never had a test ask before. And I'm just going through them like